Yuba-Sutter.live's local government live streams are presented by Plumas Lake Self-Storage in Plumas Lake, where lifelong local residents are helping other residents keep things safe, providing indoor storage units, outdoor RV and vehicle parking, moving supplies, and Penske truck rentals. Details at plumaslakeselfstorage.com.
Justice for all. Thank you. Public comment, Andy.
Public comment is an opportunity for members of the public to address the Board of Directors on any subject matter that is not on the meeting agenda as within the board subject matter jurisdiction. Public comment periods are limited to 3 minutes per person, and the total amount of time for public comment is 15 minutes. Persons participating by way of a video conference or teleconference shall ensure their audio is muted at all times except when the board chair announces public comment periods. At those designated times, members of the public wishing to speak shall enable their audio and state their name for the record. When multiple members of the public wish to speak, the clerk will determine the order of speakers and announce their names accordingly. To ensure proper conduct, the board reserves the right to mute the audio and video of any member of the public violating generally accepted principles and decorum of official public meetings. We do not have any in-person or virtual public comment.
All right, thank you. Consent items. Any questions on the consent items? I entertain a motion.
Moved.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? None. Great, thank you. Discussion item 3 will be presented by Fallon. It'll be consider approval of the following 4 water supply management grants. One is a 50% cost share in the amount of $372,672 for the Marysville Road Complete Streets Project for Linda County Water District. Number 2 will be a 50% cost share in the amount of $135,000 for the Pump and Efficiency Enhancement Project for Plumas Mutual Water Company. Number 3 is a 50% cost share in the amount of $17,463 for the District Turnout Delivery Pipe for Ramirez Water District. And number 4 is $451,000 for tank and distribution line planning, environmental and design for Lake Francis Mutual Water Company. Fallon.
Good morning. My name is Fallon Cox, and I'm the assistant to the general manager. I'm here to present 4 grant requests for the water supply program. As Chair Messick mentioned, we have Linda County Water District. This is a North Beale Road Complete Streets project for $372,672. Yuba County, there was a Yuba County improvement project along North Beale Road that requires Linda Water to relocate existing water and sewer infrastructure within the county's right-of-way. Do we have any questions with that one? Okay, the next one is Plumas Mutual Water Company. This is a pumping efficiency enhancement project for $135,000, 50% cost share. This project is proposing to install equipment that will give them the ability to remotely monitor, control, and measure flows of surface water to maximize efficiency as well as minimize water loss in their irrigation water distribution system in South Yuba County. Any questions with that one?
Any questions? No.
All right, Ramirez Water District. This is a district turnout delivery pipe. This is a 50% cost share with $17,463. This project is proposing the replacement of failing road crossing that functions as their main supply from the Cordova Canal. Any questions?
No.
All right, and our last grant request is for Lake Francis Mutual Water Company. This is tank and distribution line planning, environmental, and design. This is 100% funded for $451,000. This project is proposing planning, design, and environmental of a new storage reservoir, pipe, and fire hydrant, and approved access road. The funding is 100% like I just mentioned. Do we have any questions with that?
Any questions? Nope.
Nope. So that's pretty much what we have. And I do believe we have a public comment for this last grant request.
All right.
I'm Anna from Lake Francis Estate. Well, we are a very small subdivision that born in 1964. The water infrastructure is so old and tanks really, really old. And so we have been working so many years to try to get some grant to help the community and also for fire protection too. So we are so grateful for this opportunity and the help of the Yuba Water Agency for us. So thank you so much.
Yeah, so I wanted to thank also the pod group that was integral in this, and also thank Paul Rose and Katie Burdick, who were very helpful when and helped us guide us through the whole process. We're so appreciative for Yuba Water, and we've never seen Yuba County so well positioned to really soar as a lovely place to live, and it's because of all of you. So I want to thank you so much.
Thank you. I was just a little bit offended by the one comment because those of us built in 1964 don't consider ourselves old. I'm sure a water tank would be old though. All right. Any other questions or, I'll entertain a motion.
A second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None. Okay, thank you. Discussion item 4 will be presented by Sammy. Consider approval for the following road risk reduction grant in the amount of $5,250,000, or actually flood risk reduction grant, $5,250,000 for Feather River Reach F1 and F2 seepage and stability mitigation for Reclamation District 10.
Good morning, Chairman Messick, members of the board. Sammy Nall, Flood Risk Manager for Yuba Water Agency. Thank you for having me. So this grant stems from the 2019 approval for a water agency grant to do a problem identification report so that PIR identified and prioritized geotechnical deficiencies and developed primary or preliminary mitigation measures for reaches along in this area. From that report were identified several critical reaches, and so reaches F1 and F2 were identified as that. So this grant would help pay for or would be used to evaluate and prepare the seepage design and the required regulatory and environmental documents for this project. And it would help prepare this project overall for future funding opportunities through the state or the federal government. And I have both Tony Diaz and Tom Engler. Mind that. It's your new relationship name. Anyways, if you guys have any questions or if they want to provide any comments.
All right. Does anybody have any questions?
I would like to comment through the chair that this is I wouldn't say necessarily the first phase, but it's the phase where first we took care of the levees that had major populations behind them. But the people like in District 10 have also, are part of the agency, paid the taxes when it first started, and now we're able to help bring their flood protection up to a higher standard. I think this is both the mission and the accomplishment of the agency.
Any other questions?
Yeah, through the chair. I just want to say thank you guys for focusing on District 10. I know I've said some things in the past, like we don't have a Trillia, but we have a Sammy. And we have a whole team of people standing behind her, and the contract engineers, everything else, and some really good, competent people over at District 10 pushing for the repairs. So thank you guys for making it a priority.
So I have a question, a comment and a question. I know we're focusing on the Feather River levee side of District 10, and I know eventually we're going to get to the railroad track side, I will say, but I just had a thought, because we have a dangerous situation on Woodruff Lane at the levee, and I was wondering if there's any way that levee could be lowered to the height of the railroad track like it is at the crossing at Ramirez, and to make the road a lot safer. So if something to look into for the future, yeah, I know you're engineering all that stuff, but you know, for those of us that are around in 97, there was never any, the water only backed up to about Woodruff Lane. So I don't know why we need to go over a huge levee. If there's a way we could lower it down to the railroad track height and with Public Works, we could make a lot safer road over there. Other than that, these projects are great. I'm glad to see that District 10's getting some much needed attention.
Chairman Messick, members of the board, my name is Tony Diaz with MBK Engineers representing Reclamation District 10. Just a comment and then a general response to your question, Chairman Messick, regarding the crossing at Woodruff Lane. On behalf of Reclamation District 10, we want to thank the board and the pod committee for the continued support for flood risk reduction project implementation and evaluation in the rural areas of Yuba County. As Trillia continued and has nearly completed the urban area flood risk reduction projects in RD 784 and in Marysville, shifting the focus to build upon the previous investments that the Water Agency has made for in the problem identification report. In total, if pending approval, this will roughly be somewhere in the neighborhood of $13 million that has been granted to Reclamation District 10 for project design and then subsequent implementation to focus on potentially coupling with state and federal dollars for construction and flood risk reduction in Reclamation District 10. So Reclamation District 10 is very thankful to have a funding partner in the Water Agency. Regarding your comment at Woodruff Lane, as part of the analysis that's ongoing, there is an interior drainage component and an evaluation of the water surface elevations on along the entirety of the levees protecting Reclamation District 10, so that the freeboard component to where the existing elevation where the crossing is, it can be evaluated to see what can be done there. So we can also include that as well.
All right, thank you. Any other questions? Anyone from the public? Any comments?
I would move for approval.
I'd so move, Mr. Chairman.
All right, well, Rennick was speaking. What'd you say, Rennick?
Oh.
I didn't hear.
I said I would move for approval.
Okay. You second, Charlie?
Yes.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None. Thank you. All right. We will move on to discussion item 5, and Joanna will be presenting this virtually. Consider approval of the following watershed resilience grant in the amount of $12,000 for Dobbins and Oregon House Wildfires Protected Communities Grant writing support for the Yuba Resource Conservation District. Joanna.
Good morning. Good morning, Chair Messick. Good morning, Board. I'm Joanna Lassard. I'm the Watershed Manager for the Yuba Water Agency. I'm really excited to bring this grant application before you. Although it's a smaller amount, it's for writing a grant application. This project was developed from the Community Wildfire Prevention Plan that we helped fund through the Watershed Protection and Fire Safe Council. This is a collaborative project that will be led by the Yuba RCD. They'll be applying to CAL FIRE's Fire Prevention Grant Program to try to implement a project in the focusing on community wildfire defense in Oregon House Dobbins area. And I believe there's someone from the RCD in the room if you have questions.
Yes, I see them. Any questions of Joanna? No. Any questions of the RCD? No? Any public comment? And I'd entertain a motion.
So moved.
Yep. Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? None. Okay. Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Manager's report. Willie.
Well, I gave testimony in the Accord hearing yesterday, and the court reporter asked me to slow down. I'm surprised you guys haven't done that to me yet in my 5 years as general manager, but I'll take her word and I'll try and slow down for you guys. But we'll still get done quickly today because we have a pretty short manager's report. Bullards is currently at 852,000 acre feet. That's about 110% of normal inflow year to date. We continue to move into the Power Systems headquarters building in Oregon House. Things are going well there. I'm hearing that staff is very happy with the facility and in particular the shortened commute. We continue to plan for the Colgate Tunnel outage. that will occur in October. All units are currently online. We're through the spring outage season with Narrows 1 annual maintenance. So we're kind of in summertime operation mode where we're just drawing the reservoir down, creating energy through Colgate and Narrows units, and delivering water to irrigation customers and Accord water through the system. Curtis let us know that the agency funded the first $15 million of the $30 million deposit to Five Star Bank. Five Star Bank commits to increasing their focus on business lending in Yuba County, and as a result of this new banking relationship. The second half of the deposit will be funded from CalISO revenue recognized throughout the summer months. You'll see a summary here of our current jobs that are open and the recruitments that are underway. As far as communication goes, several of our employees were featured in the Appeal Democrats' personal perspectives on the 4th of July spread. Yesterday, we gave a tour of Bullards to Jake Goodrich, Yuba-Sutter reporter for the Sacramento Bee and a bee photographer. Also yesterday, Jackie Silman spoke to a group called the Daughters of Leisure about the history of Yuba Water and the Community Impact Program. And tomorrow, Joanna Lassard will be speaking to a group of college students about the nexus between water and wildfire. And this weekend, we are sponsoring and will host a booth at the Peach Festival. Our next board meeting is August 5th, along with an ABP committee meeting.
All right.
Just a reminder, the August 5th meeting is at our new Power Systems headquarters building in Organ House.
Great.
Again, could you, with the extra water that we have being 110%, that will give us more power generation. I noticed the last 2 times you haven't mentioned anything about power income. Power income will be reviewed at the next board meeting for, I believe, June. I don't have a report on the last month's power income.
All right. Well, we'll go to director's report. Start down here. Wayne?
So as I'm sure everyone been following the news in Texas, the flooding in Texas, and it's been sobering for me, as I'm sure a lot of us that have responsibility for reducing flood risk in our communities. And it's a different type of system there, different type of storm. The hydrology is different. There's a lot of things different than here, but still we have this life-threatening flood risk here that will never be completely eliminated. No matter how much work we do, there will always be some level of risk. And I just think it's a good time, and Willie and I talked about this last week, but it's a good time for us to reflect on whether we're doing all the things that we can do to minimize the risk to life and property. And so the things that struck me were that, you know, they had a breakdown in communications there. I know we have places in the county that don't have good cell service. And I don't know if it's the water agency's responsibility or place to work on that, but it's something we could talk about. And maybe it's not just cell service. Maybe there's other means of communication that we should be trying to improve. The decision-making there, it appears, you know, was you know, kind of scattered and not sound. I know that the, you know, decisions on evacuation are not the water agency's responsibility, but I would think it would be likely that we would provide the information to the people that make those decisions. And I know that we have plans for all of this, and I think they're probably sound. Again, just a good time to reflect. And then I'm glad that Tony and Tom haven't left, because I think that, you know, just keep bringing us those projects as quickly as you can. And Sammy, you know, and not just for District 10, but the other rural parts of the county. Tom probably knows the ones I'm talking about. And if there's further work that needs to be done in the urban parts, that should be done as well as quickly as we can. We're just we have this tremendous fortune that our forefathers set us up with here, that we have funding to do this kind of work. And as quickly as those projects can be identified and brought forward, in my opinion, we should be doing them. And of course, the ARC spillway is the biggest project we have out there that could help. And I know that we're going forward with that as quickly as we can. So I just wanted to make those comments. I think it's a good time to reflect on all that.
I would like to reinforce the same comments, but in a bit of history, in 1938 was the last time that Reclamation District 10 was flooded. The next flood we had, of course, was the 55 flood, and that was the levees overtopped in Yuba City. And the day before that, they had overtopped in Nicholas and gone out. And then we had the flood of 64, which nobody realized because it wasn't a flood, but the amount of water was substantially more than the channel would have handled in the 55 situation, but we had Oroville half built. But then we go on to history and we go to the 70, I believe 76. That was then again larger than both 38, 55, and 64. And then we go up to 97, and that was way bigger than the flood of that we had ever had. And this is all in my lifetime. And so I guess the thing I would caution our agency is that we don't know what the biggest maximum flood is. And we should always strive to find our weakest points and continue to build on them. And I'm very much want to compliment Director Bishop for bringing this issue up.
Thank you. Andy?
Got a chance to attend the South County Committee, and it was very interesting, but I'll let Terry talk about that at some point in time. And for those of you who'd like to know what happened in our county years and years ago, it created a lot of the areas. You can go to Adventures in Prospecting in Orville, and they'll take you out on the Feather River, and you get to pan for gold, which I did Sunday, and I found out it ain't as easy as it looks. And Mr. Bishop mentioned the flood in Texas, and I don't think we've had a chance to have a report from OES and the preparation they've done. We have a control room here that's been high and dry for all the flood efforts, and during the Oroville Dam, I slept in my own bed. We're a little higher than the actual Sutter County levy, so we don't worry about that. But it would be nice to have a presentation from OES showing how prepared we are. Department of Water Resources didn't like the fact that I mentioned that we could loan them a maintenance manual for Oroville Dam that we use. It just would put to rest some of the confusion that people have when you have an event, and they wondered why I told them to get on the road, head for the Doolittle Gate. By the time you get there, you're out of the floodplain, so you didn't have to drive Highway 70 through all this stuff. And that's pretty much it. I think we need a presentation from OES. Might be surprised.
Renick?
Yeah, so the last several days I've been out in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania at the National Association of Counties, and I know it's more county related than water, but it's eye-opening to see that we all have the same kind of issues across the country, but we have something that most of those other places don't have. So we definitely don't want to risk anything at the Yuba Water Agency, but being able to have the partners in workforce development, the partners in Safe Street, the partners in curb gutter sidewalks, the partners in everything that we're doing is huge. Other places don't have that, and their federal funding is diminishing and their state funding is diminishing. So it just it makes me thankful for everything you guys do at the agency and all the rest of the board members and the chair. But I did want to ask if we could add. I know you guys were having, what is it, like a dam tabletop, like a dam emergency type tabletop. If we could have you guys schedule ones for like flood risk and things like that too, or add it in as just a layer. And then I definitely still want to have that closed session where we can cover the dam report and the details that aren't allowed to be public as a group. I think it'd be beneficial to have us all there rather than just one-on-one. So I just ask that we put that on future closed session. Thank you.
On to that request about the closed session item on the dam safety. We do have that on our schedule for upcoming board meetings. We'll get that in.
All right, great. I really don't have any comments. I'll just add that Rennick and Gary and I also will be at the Peach Festival with a booth for the Yuba County Board of Supervisors. And I haven't told you guys yet this, but I have a constituent donate a CCW class, so we're going to raffle that off. It'll be free to join the raffle. Just come by the Yuba County Board of Supervisors booth. So with that, I will adjourn the meeting. Thank you.
Yuba-Sutter.Live's local government live streams are presented by Plumas Lake Self-Storage in Plumas Lake, where lifelong local residents are helping other residents keep things safe, providing indoor storage units, outdoor RV and vehicle parking, moving supplies, and Penske truck rentals. Details at plumaslakeselfstorage.com.
Hi, I'm Neil Goforth of Comfort Keepers of Yuba, Sutter, and Nevada counties. Caring for elders or even yourself has challenges. Comfort Keepers of Yuba, Sutter, and Nevada counties can help you address today's issues and plan for tomorrow with in-home and specialized care for you or your family members. Call us at 530-749-8800. Comfort Keepers of Yuba, Sutter, and Nevada counties.
It's the truth that comes through.